Hello student, good morning. Myself Sri K.D. Borsesar, biology subject teacher. In previous lecture we learned excretion and osmoregulation chapter content concept. Nephron, nephron are structural functional unit of kidney. Types of nephron. There are two types of nephron study in previous lecture. Cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron. Also blood supply to kidney. Today we are going to learn some more concept including excretion and osmoregulation chapter, urine formation. So let us start today's first concept, urine formation. Urine formation is one of the main function of nephron. Nephron is a structural functional unit of kidney. So urine formation is one of the main function of nephron is completed three successive steps. Number one, first ultrafiltration, also called as glomerular filtration. Second, selective reabsorption. Third, tubular secretion or augmentation. Means urine formation process completed. All these three steps we detail discuss one by one. First one is ultrafiltration, also called as glomerular filtration. What is ultrafiltration or glomerular filtration? Ultrafiltration means filtration of blood in the Malpighian body under high osmotic pressure, called as ultrafiltration. Filtration of blood in Malpighian body. Malpighian body is one of the part of nephron, consists of glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. So filtration of blood in Malpighian body under high osmotic pressure, such process called as ultrafiltration, and ultrafiltration also called as glomerular filtration. Ultrafiltration is the first step of urine formation in which blood enter into the glomerulus through afferent arteriole. Renal artery enter into the kidney. Its branches are called as renal arteriole, and its also small branches are called as afferent arteriole, or enter into the glomerulus, means Bowman's capsule, to form glomerular structure. So urine formation consists of ultrafiltration. Glomerular filtration is first step of urine formation in which blood enter into the glomerulus. Glomerulus मध्ये blood enter होतं आणि through afferent arteriole the blood is enter into the glomerulus. Senior diagrammatic representation. This is Malpighian body, consists of Bowman's capsule, and this one is glomerulus. Such glomerulus network is a small capillary network, is formed afferent arteriole. This afferent arteriole transfer blood from renal artery to renal arteriole to afferent arteriole, then the blood is enter into the glomerulus. Structure present in Bowman's capsule of the Malpighian body under high osmotic pressure, ultrafiltration process takes place. Point number one, diameter of afferent arteriole is greater than the efferent arteriole. This is the afferent arteriole. Its diameter is greater than the efferent arteriole. This one is efferent arteriole. Here clearly seen, diameter of afferent arteriole is greater than the efferent arteriole, means the blood enter into the glomerulus through afferent arteriole is larger, means more amount in the glomerulus, and blood is leave from glomerulus through efferent arteriole very less amount, because diameter of efferent arteriole is shorter than the afferent arteriole. Second point, diameter of capillary is still smaller than both arterioles. Here capillary diameter is very small than the both afferent as well as efferent arteriole, means diameter of afferent arteriole is more greater than the efferent arteriole, and glomerular capillary diameter is very small than the both efferent as well as afferent arteriole. So large amount of blood enter through afferent arteriole in the glomerulus, and small amount of blood leave from glomerulus through efferent arteriole. Due to this, ultrafiltration process takes place in the glomerulus present in the Bowman's capsule of Malpighian body. Point number 3. Due to such differences in diameter, means afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole and blood capillary diameter, so due to such differences in diameter, blood flow is greater pressure through glomerulus. Due to diameter, blood flow with greater pressure through glomerulus, because of afferent arteriole diameter is greater than the efferent arteriole as well as capillary diameter, so blood enter in the glomerulus flow with greater pressure. Point number 4. This is called as, means blood flow with greater pressure through glomerulus. This is called as glomerular hydrostatic pressure, that is GHP, means very large amount of blood enter into the glomerulus through afferent arteriole, less amount of blood leave from glomerulus to efferent arteriole. Due to this, glomerular hydrostatic pressure occurs in the glomerular region. Such hydrostatic pressure called as glomerular hydrostatic pressure, that is GHP, means glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Now normal glomerular hydrostatic pressure is about 55 mm Hg. What is normal glomerular hydrostatic pressure? 55 mm Hg is normal glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Due to normal glomerular hydrostatic pressure is about 55 mm Hg, means through afferent arteriole blood is enter into the glomerular, so due to this the pressure occurs in the glomerulus is about 55 mm Hg. Such pressure also called as exerting pressure in the glomerulus by the blood. Point number 6. Glomerular hydrostatic pressure opposed by osmotic pressure of blood glomerular hydrostatic pressure opposed by osmotic pressure of the blood is normally about 33 mm hug. जे वरून नॉर्मल प्रेशर येते ग्लोमेरुलर हायड्रोस्टॅटिक प्रेशर 55 mm हग असणार अँड दिस glomerular hydrostatic pressure opposed by osmotic pressure of blood is about 30 mm hug. Means in the glomerular capillary network contain the solid particles like proteinous part are provide opposite pressure to the glomerular hydrostatic pressure is about 30 mm hug. Always remember 30 mm hug. Opposite pressure provide from osmotic pressure of the blood to glomerular hydrostatic pressure, and also opposite pressure provide capsular filtrate pressure about 15 mm hug. Means the Bowman's capsule is consist of two layered structure, upper layer known as parietal layer and inner layer known as visceral layer. Due to two layer structure of Bowman's capsule present in between two layer a space known as capsular space, and this capsular space contain previous capsular filtrate provide capsular filtrate pressure that is opposite to the glomerular hydrostatic pressure is about 15 mm hug, and also opposite pressure provide to glomerular hydrostatic pressure from osmotic pressure of blood is about 30 mm hug. Means total 30 mm hug plus 15 mm hug, total 45 mm hug opposite pressure provide to the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. So due to this, exerting pressure is about 55 mm hug and opposite pressure is about 45 mm hug. This 45 mm hug pressure is from osmotic pressure of blood about 30 mm hug and capsular filtrate pressure about 15 mm hug. वरून आलेलं जे एक्झर्टिंग प्रेशर असतं ते 55 mm हग प्रेशर असणार आणि त्याला म्हणतो आपण ग्लोमेरुलर हायड्रोस्टॅटिक प्रेशर. त्याला अपोज करणारं जे प्रेशर असणार आहे ते दोन टाईपचं प्रेशर असेल. ब्लड कंटेन प्रोटीनस नेचर particles are provide opposite pressure that is called as osmotic pressure of blood is about 30 mm hug, and the capsular space contain filtrate provide capsular filtrate pressure is about 15 mm hug. Means 30 to 30 mm hug plus 15 mm hug, that is 45 mm hug, provide opposite pressure to the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Means exerting pressure 55 mm hug and opposite pressure 45 mm hug. Due to this, net effective filtration pressure, due to this net effective filtration pressure, that is effective filtration pressure means EFP is about 10 mm hug. How effective filtration pressure is 10 mm hug occurs? Seen here. Effective filtration pressure is equal to glomerular hydrostatic pressure minus osmotic pressure of blood plus capsular filtrate pressure. So effective filtration pressure is about 10 mm Hg, seen here noted 10 mm Hg. Effective filtration pressure, how net effective filtration pressure is about 10 mm Hg. Effective pressure is equal to glomerular hydrostatic pressure. How many glomerular hydrostatic pressure? 55 mm Hg. So here 55 mm Hg. 55 mm Hg is glomerular hydrostatic pressure minus opposite pressure, osmotic pressure of blood and plus capsular filtrate pressure, noted here 33 mm Hg is osmotic pressure of blood plus 15 mm Hg is capsular filtrate pressure. Due to this, 55 mm Hg minus 33 plus 15 means 45 mm Hg. So net filtration pressure is about 10 mm Hg. Here clearly seen. What is normal net effective filtration pressure? 10 mm Hg, because exerting glomerular hydrostatic pressure is about 55 mm Hg and opposite pressure is about 45 mm Hg. So net filtration effective filtration pressure means EFP is about 10 mm Hg. Always remember, effective filtration pressure is about 10 mm Hg. Now this effective filtration pressure is about 10 mm Hg is due to wall of capillary are extremely thin. Wall of capillaries are extremely thin. Under high pressure, wall becomes permeable to major component of blood. कॅपिलरीचे जे वाल असतात ते एक्स्ट्रीमली थीन असतात, नो डाऊट. अंडर हाय प्रेशर वाल बिकम्स परमिएबल. जास्त प्रेशरमुळे कॅपिलरीचे वाल काय होतात? परमिएबल होतात टू मेजर कॉम्पोनंट ऑफ द ब्लड. ब्लडमध्ये जे मेजर कॉम्पोनंट आहेत ते परमिएबल होऊ शकतात फ्रॉम ब्लड टू आउटसाइड ड्यू टू हाय pressure on the wall of capillary, except blood cells and macromolecules like proteins. ब्लड मध्ये असलेले जे ब्लड सेल्स आहेत लाईक RBCs, WBCs, platelets are solid part. Also macromolecule like protein is also solid part. So except blood cells and macromolecules of protein, other major component of blood are permeable due to high pressure on the wall of capillary, because the capillary wall is extremely thin. ग्लोमेरुलस मध्ये असलेल्या कॅपिलरीचा वाल थीन असतो माहिती आपल्याला, ड्यू टू हाय प्रेशर ऑन द ग्लोमेरुलस मीन्स ऑन द वॉल ऑफ कॅपिलरीज. ड्यू टू दिस वॉल बिकम्स परमिएबल टू मेजर कंपोनंट ऑफ द ब्लड. कॅपिलरीमध्ये जी ब्लड असेल त्या ब्लडमध्ये मेजर कंपोनंटसाठी परमिएबल करतील ते वाल फक्त ब्लडमधून ब्लड सेल्स सोडले, ब्लडमधून प्रोटीन मॉलिक्यूल सोडले तर ब्लडमध्ये असलेले इतर कंटेंट परमिएबल होऊ शकतात फ्रॉम वॉल ऑफ द कॅपिलरी टू आउटसाइड. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर. पॉइंट नंबर 9, thus means permeable to major component of blood due to extremely thin capillary wall. Thus some plasma with other component oozes out. Thus some plasma, blood मधला काही plasma part with other components oozes out through capillary wall. Means capillary wall मधून ब्लड मध्ये असलेले काही कंपोनंट ब्लड सेल्स अँड प्लाझ्मा प्रोटीन सोडून विथ प्लाझ्मा काय होतात, उजेस आउट होतात. मीन्स फ्रॉम द ब्लड ऑफ कॅपिलरी टू आउटसाइड इन द नेफ्रिक कॅप्सूल. सो ड्यू टू extreme thin wall of capillary, some plasma and other component oozes out through capillary because of high pressure on the glomerulus. No doubt about 55 mm hug pressure exerting and opposite 45 mm hug. So net 10 mm hug pressure provide in the glomerulus. Due to this, the some plasma with other component are oozes out through the capillary wall. Point number 10, in 1 minute about 600 ml blood passes through each kidney. एका मिनिटात 600 ml blood pass होतं through each kidney. So such blood is transfer actual kidney contain each nephron Malpighian body contain Bowman's capsule glomerulus part. So always remember, in 1 minute about 600 ml blood passes through each kidney. Point number 11, such glomerular filtrate produce at a rate of 125 ml per minute in capsular space, that is 180 liter per day. Always remember, such glomerular filtrate produce at a rate of 125 ml per minute. 125 ml एका मिनिटाला फिल्टर होतं in capsular space, that is the 180 liter per day. means 24 hours मध्ये 180 लिटर फिल्टर होतं in the capsular space because of 125 ml per minute. एका मिनिटाला 125 ml फिल्ट्रेट प्रोड्यूस होतं. सो 24 hours means a day 180 liter filtrate produce होणार in the capsular space of each and every Malpighian body. Bowman's capsule capsular space. This space contain 125 ml filtrate per minute. How 180 liter glomerular filtrate produce per day. एका दिवसाला 180 लिटर ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट कसं प्रोड्यूस होऊ शकतं. सीन हिअर 125 ml into 60 minute means 1 minute 125 ml. So 60 minute into 125 ml, 7500 ml. 7500 ml into 24 hours, 180 liter ml. Such 180 liter ml divided by 1000 ml means 1000 ml is 1 liter. So 1,80,000 ml divided by 1000 ml इज इक्वल टू 180 लिटर पर डे. एका दिवसाला 180 लिटर ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट प्रोड्यूस होतो प्रत्येक किडनीमध्ये. दिस इज द क्लिअर आयडिया अबाउट द कॅल्क्युलेशन. 180 liter per day means 24 hours. Hope that you understood everything. Now, glomerular filtrate, also called as deproteinized plasma. जे फिल्ट्रेट कॅप्सुलर स्पेसमध्ये आलेला असेल त्या फिल्ट्रेटला डीप्रोटीनाइज्ड प्लाझ्मा म्हटलं जातं. बिकॉज द प्लाझ्मा विथ ॲबसेंट प्रोटीन मीन्स डीप्रोटीनाइज्ड प्लाझ्मा. ब्लड प्लाझ्मा असेल पण त्याच्यात एकही प्रोटीन नसेल, सच प्लाझ्मा कॉल्ड ॲज डीप्रोटीनाइज्ड प्लाझ्मा, कॉल्ड ॲज ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट. Also called as primary urine, is alkaline, contain urea, amino acids, glucose, pigments, inorganic ions. These content are present in primary urine, also called as deproteinized plasma, also called as glomerular filtrate. So, such glomerular filtrate passes through filtration slits, that is podocyte present in visceral layer, into capsular space. Then it transfer into proximal convoluted tubule of the nephron, means renal tubule. So up to this we detail discuss. Ultrafiltration is the first step of urine formation. Ultrafiltration also called as glomerular filtration because this process is actual takes place in the glomerulus, so called them glomerular filtration. Hope that you understood everything. Now we detail discuss. Second step of urine formation known as selective reabsorption. What is selective reabsorption? Selective reabsorption means reabsorption of useful substances from the glomerular filtrate. Reabsorption of useful substances from the glomerular filtrate by cells of the renal tubule and putting back into the circulation, called as selective reabsorption. Selective reabsorption process मध्ये useful substances glomerular filtration मधून, ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट मधून सेल्स ऑफ रिनल ट्यूब्यूल रिॲब्सॉर्ब करून घेतात अँड पुटिंग बॅक इन टू द सर्क्युलेशन, मीन्स पेरिट्युब्युलर कॅपिलरी नेटवर्कमध्ये ट्रान्सफर करतात. सो दिस प्रोसेस कॉल्ड ॲज सिलेक्टिव्ह रिॲब्सॉर्प्शन. इन सिलेक्टिव्ह रिॲब्सॉर्प्शन useful substances or reabsorption takes place from glomerular filtrate by the cell of renal tubule and putting back into the circulation, means peritubulary capillary network. Such process called as selective reabsorption. Seen here diagrammatic representation. Selective reabsorption means renal tubule consists of different parts, like this part is proximal convoluted tubule, this part is loop of Henle, and this part is distal convoluted tubule, and this is the collecting duct. So all these different parts of the renal tubule contain different cells are reabsorb useful substances present in the filtrate, because after ultrafiltration, filtrate pass through the space into the renal tubule, means proximal convoluted tubule, then Henle's loop, then distal convoluted tubule, then the collecting duct. So the tubule contain useful substances or reabsorption by cells of the renal tubule and putting back into the circulation, means peritubular capillary network, transfer from filtrate to peritubular capillary network, such process called as selective reabsorption. Point number 1, first, it is second phase of urine formation, means selective reabsorption is second phase of urine formation, occurs throughout the length of renal tubule. renal tubule पूर्ण लेंथ मध्ये सिलेक्टिव्ह रिॲब्झॉर्प्शन वर्क कंप्लीट होतं. 2 ट्रान्सपोर्ट प्रोसेसेस involved in reabsorption depending upon concentration gradient. concentration gradient वर डिपेंड 2 प्रकारच्या ट्रान्सपोर्ट प्रोसेस होतात during the selective reabsorption. Number 1, first, active transport, that is for using ATP mediated, means ATP च्या मदतीने होणारी active transport process होईल. Second one is passive transport, means using simple diffusion. Due to these 2 transport processes, selective reabsorption process is completed in whole length of renal tubule. We detail discuss different part of the renal tubule and reabsorption process. No doubt whole length of the renal tubule contain different reabsorption process are done by maybe active transport process, maybe passive transport process. We detail discuss. First one is reabsorption of PCT, means proximal convoluted tubule. proximal convoluted tubule मध्ये reabsorption process कशी होते? Number 1, PCT is a place of reabsorption. No doubt PCT हा एक renal tubule चा जो पार्ट आहे तो reabsorption साठीच आहे. It is highly coiled so that glomerular filtrate pass through it very slowly. PCT हा जो पार्ट आहे तो हायली कॉइल्ड आहे. सो ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट पास थ्रू इट व्हेरी स्लोली. जास्त कॉइल असल्यामुळे दिस इज द PCT पार्ट ऑफ द renal tubule. This part is highly coiled. Due to highly coiled PCT part, glomerular filtrate pass through it very slowly. याच्यातून जे फिल्ट्रेट पुढे जाणार आहे ते व्हेरी स्लोली जाईल बिकॉज ऑफ द PCT पार्ट इज व्हेरी हायली कॉइल्ड. ओके, नाउ पॉइंट नंबर 3, कोलुमनार सेल्स ऑफ द PCT मध्ये असलेले कोलुमनार सेल्स आर प्रोव्हाइड विथ microvilli. Seen here in the PCT region present columnar cells are provide microvilli. This is the structure of microvilli. Brush border like structure provide columnar epithelial cells. Due to microvilli, absorptive area is increases. Due to microvilli, absorptive area is increases, and due to increases absorptive area, the useful substances are absorbed large amount, because Absorptive area is increases due to microvilli, so large amount of useful substances reabsorbed in the PCT region. Due to this means increase absorptive area. Due to this, the process of reabsorption is very effective. जास्त रिअब्झॉर्बिव्ह एरिया असल्यामुळे रिअब्झॉर्प्शन प्रोसेस कशी होईल तर इफेक्टिव्ह होऊ शकते. अप टू दिस वी डिटेल डिस्कस 4 डिफरंट पॉइंट ऑफ रिअब्झॉर्प्शन इन PCT. Point number 5, PCT reabsorption in the PCT region. Reabsorption like glucose, also amino acids, vitamin C, calcium, potassium, sodium and chlorides are actively reabsorbed by active transport using ATP mediated transport system. Always remember, PCT region, from PCT region reabsorption process takes place. Reabsorb glucose essential, amino acids, vitamin C, calcium, potassium, sodium chloride are reabsorbed actively by active transport process using ATP mediated. Up to this we detail discuss reabsorption in PCT region. Now we detail discuss reabsorption in loop of Henle. Loop of Henle मध्ये reabsorption process कशी होते. Water is reabsorbed through descending limb of loop of Henle. Water reabsorbed होतं through descending limb of loop of Henle. Solute like sodium chloride is reabsorbed through ascending limb of loop of Henle. डिसेंडिंग लिंबमधून वाटर रिअब्सॉर्ब केलं जातं बिकॉज वाटर परमिएबल रिजन. असेंडिंग लिंबमधून सोल्यूट पार्टिकल NaCl रिअब्सॉर्ब केले जातात बिकॉज वाटर इम्परमिएबल. सो दिस टू रिजन मीन्स डिसेंडिंग limb of loop of Henle, ascending limb of loop of Henle reabsorb water as well as solute like sodium chloride particles. Point number 3, both events means in descending as well as ascending of loop of Henle occurs passive transport using simple diffusion. These events are occurs passive transport system using simple diffusion process. Up to this we detail discuss reabsorption of loop of Henle. Now we detail discuss reabsorption in DCT. DCT मध्ये reabsorption process कशी होते. In DCT reabsorption like sodium ions plus water as per need of the body. As per need of the body, sodium ions and water are reabsorbed from DCT region by active transport process using ATP mediated transport system. In this way means reabsorption in PCT, reabsorption in loop of Henle, reabsorption in DCT. In this way, about 99% of glomerular filtrate is reabsorbed in PCT and DCT region. Up to this we detail discuss selective reabsorption is one of the step of urine formation Hope that you understood everything. Now we learn tubular secretion. Augmentation is the third and last step of urine formation. What is tubular secretion or augmentation? Tubular secretion means the separation and secretion of unwanted substances from peritubular capillary network of the blood into the tubular fluid, called as tubular secretion as well as augmentation. Tubular secretion प्रोसेस मध्ये सेपरेशन केले जातात, सिक्रेशन केले जातात अनवांटेड सबस्टन्सेस प्रेझेंट इन पेरिट्युब्युलर कॅपिलरी नेटवर्क ऑफ द ब्लड. पेरिट्युब्युलर कॅपिलरी नेटवर्क ऑफ द ब्लडमध्ये असलेले जे अनवांटेड सबस्टन्सेस आहेत, पेरिट्युब्युलर कॅपिलरी नेटवर्कमध्ये असलेल्या ब्लडमध्ये असलेले अनवांटेड सबस्टन्सेस सेपरेशन केले जातात, सिक्रेशन केले जातात इनटू द ट्युब्युलर फ्लुइड मीन्स रिनल ट्युब्युल फ्लुइडमध्ये फ्रॉम पेरिट्युब्युलर कॅपिलरी नेटवर्कमधून ट्रान्सफर केले जातात. अँड सच प्रोसेस कॉल्ड ॲज ट्युब्युलर सिक्रेशन, ऑगमेंटेशन. सीनियर डायग्रामॅटिक रिप्रेझेंटेशन. दिस इज द structure of nephron. You know this part is renal tubule part. So PCT, loop of Henle, DCT and collecting duct. On PCT, peritubular capillary network is arises. On loop of Henle also peritubular capillary network is arises. DCT on also peritubular capillary network, and collecting duct on its also peritubular capillary network is arises. So separation and secretion of unwanted substances from peritubular capillary network of the blood means पेरिट्युब्युलर कॅपिलरी नेटवर्क मध्ये असलेल्या ब्लड मध्ये जे अनवांटेड सबस्टन्सेस आहेत, जे ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन मध्ये फिल्ट्रेट झालेले नाहीत, सो दिस अनवांटेड सबस्टन्सेस पास थ्रू ग्लोमेरुलस टू द पेरिट्युब्युलर कॅपिलरी नेटवर्क, and this peritubulary capillary network contain blood, contain unwanted substances are separation, secretion from peritubulary capillary network into the tubular fluid means tubular fluid मध्ये त्यांना सिक्रेशन केलं जातं फ्रॉम peritubular capillary network to tubular fluid. Such process called as tubular secretion or augmentation. Hope that you understood everything. Now first point, finally the filtrate reaches distal convoluted tubule. जेव्हा filtrate finally distal convoluted tubule means DCT via loop of Henle means loop of Henle via DCT मध्ये finally filtrate reach होतं. At that time, here diagrammatic representation, filtrate pass PCT to loop of Henle and loop of Henle to DCT. So due to filtrate reaches the convoluted tubule via loop of Henle, this loop of Henle to DCT region, peritubular capillary surround DCT as well as CT means collecting tubule. So this is the DCT region, and this straight part of the DCT called as collecting tubule. So DCT and collecting tubule on its present peritubular capillary network, this peritubular capillary network cells of DCT and collecting tubule means this DCT region and collecting tubule contain cells actively absorb the wastes like creatinine and ions like hydrogen as well as potassium. These are the waste material, creatinine, ions like potassium and hydrogen from peritubular capillary network and secrete into the lumen of DCT and collecting tubule. Always remember, cells of DCT and collecting tubule means this region contains cells actively absorb the waste like creatinine, ions like potassium, hydrogen from peritubular capillary network and secrete into the lumen of DCT and CT. See near diagrammatic representation. This region of peritubular capillary network, from them waste material is reabsorbed and putting back into the lumen of the filtrate. So due to this process called as tubular secretion or augmentation, secretion of hydrogen ions in DCT and CT is an important homeostasis mechanism. Secretion of hydrogen ions in the DCT and CT is an important homeostatic mechanism for pH regulation of blood. ब्लडचा pH रेग्युलेशन करण्यासाठी सिक्रेशन ऑफ हायड्रोजन आयन्स इन द DCT and CT is important homeostatic mechanism for pH regulation of blood. Always remember. Point number 5, this process called as tubular secretion or augmentation. Up to this we detail discuss all three different steps of urine formation like ultrafiltration, also called as glomerular filtration, second selective reabsorption, and third one is tubular secretion or augmentation. Tubular secretion is only mode of excretion in marine bony fishes and desert amphibians. Always remember, tubular secretion is only mode of excretion in marine bony fishes and desert amphibians. A review today's topic. We learn in today's lecture, urine formation consists of three steps: ultrafiltration, also called as glomerular filtration. Second one is selective reabsorption. Third one is tubular secretion, also called as augmentation. On the basis of today's lecture, some exercise question noted here. MCQ question number 1. Deproteinized plasmid is found in Bowman's capsule, descending limb, glomerular capillary, ascending limb. Yes. Second MCQ question. The part of nephron which absorb glucose and amino acid is collecting tubule, proximal tubule, Henle's loop, DCT. Yes, which part absorb glucose and amino acid of nephron? Yes. Next, number 3rd MCQ. Tubular secretion does not take place in DCT, PCT, collecting duct, Henle's loop. Yes. MCQ number 4. what are the steps involved in short answer question. What are the steps involved in urine formation process? Yes, urine formation process मध्ये कोणत्या 3 steps involved आहेत? Normally glomerular hydrostatic pressure is about how many mm Hg? Yes. Which transport processes use glucose is taken back from glomerular filtrate from PCT? Glomerular filtrate मधून ग्लुकोज काढून घेण्यासाठी कोणती ट्रान्सपोर्ट प्रोसेस युटिलाइज होते इन द PCT region? Yes. Number 4, in 1 minute about how many ml blood passes through each kidney? each kidney मध्ये एका मिनिटात किती ब्लड पास होतं? Yes. Number 5, which are the 2 transport processes involved in reabsorption depending upon the concentration gradient? reabsorption process होण्यासाठी on the basis of concentration gradient कोणते 2 ट्रान्सपोर्ट प्रोसेसेस युटिलाइज होतात? Yes. Number 6, normally net effective filtration pressure means EFP is how many mm Hg? Yes. Normally how many liter glomerular filtrate produce per day? एका दिवसाला किती ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेट प्रोड्यूस होतं? And number last, about how many % of glomerular filtrate is reabsorbed in PCT and DCT? Yes. Up to this, today's lecture completed. Hope that you understood everything. आज जे आपण युरिन फॉर्मेशन लेक्चर अटेंड केलेलं आहे, ह्या लेक्चरमध्ये युरिन फॉर्मेशनच्या 3ही स्टेप अतिशय व्यवस्थितरित्या डिस्क्राईब केलेल्या आहेत. जर का आपल्याला 3ही स्टेप खूप चांगल्या प्रकारे समजल्या असतील तर एक्झरसाइजमधले जे क्वेश्चन्स आहेत इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. जर आपल्याला एक्झरसाइजमधले क्वेश्चन सोडवायचे असतील तर लेक्चर आपण परत एकदा बघितलं पाहिजे आणि मग एक्झरसाइजमधले क्वेश्चन्स आपण सहज सोडवू शकतात. होप दॅट यू अंडरस्टूड एव्हरीथिंग. इफ यू लाईक द व्हिडिओ देन यू कॅन सबस्क्राईब माय यूट्यूब बायो इन्फो चॅनल, tap the bell icon and like the video. If any doubt about today's lecture, mention in comment box. Thank you.